coming up tonight on the news at 6.
It's day to day. It really is. And I don't think I'm the only one in town who's experiencing that.
Helena businesses describe their struggle as the COVID-19 pandemic stretches on. Plus, an organization with treatment facilities across the world opened their largest one yet, right here in Montana.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the news at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. And Governor Steve Bullock and state health officers made another appeal to Montanans today to step up their efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19 in the state. They said if Montanans do not strictly follow public health guidelines, the state's hospitals and economy will be overwhelmed. In his first public appearance since losing last week's U.S. Senate election, Bullock repeated many of the warnings he has issued before. He said the situation is getting dire for Montana, with 10,000 new cases reported in just 11 days. He said more restrictions could help slow the spread of the virus, but without federal aid from Congress, it would hurt too many families and businesses even more. State Medical Officer Greg Holzman said hospitals are becoming overburdened and Montanans cannot sit and wait for a vaccine. Bullock said the state is preparing to distribute a vaccine when it is available, but now is the time for Montanans to act by wearing masks, social distancing, and following other guidelines.
I asked Montanans certainly to do this, not for me. Do it for the many who are working in our crowded hospitals to make sure that you can still seek care. Do it for those in our communities who are making sure that you can get a test or that a business can safely stay open.
Now, you may have noticed some unusual data in the state's daily COVID-19 report today, including no new cases reported in Lewis and Clark County. We asked Lewis and Clark County Public Health about that, and they told us the data did not get into the system in time to make the daily update. So the case count from yesterday and today are expected to be included in tomorrow's state report. Public Health told us nurses are very busy right now, and they did not have time to estimate how many cases would have been in that report today. Local businesses are also feeling the impact of rising COVID-19 numbers. Many are concerned they might have to close their doors temporarily or permanently before the pandemic is over. MTN's John Riley reports.
Not that long ago, Bad Betty's Barbecue in Helena was swarmed with customers, often completely selling out well before closing. During the pandemic, they're lucky to see a quarter of that. Owner Calvin Richards says if something doesn't change, he may have to make some heartbreaking decisions.
It's day to day. It really is. And I don't think I'm the only one in town who's experiencing that. It really is day to day. We closed for a week last week. It had just gotten to the point where it was costing me more money to be open than it was worth. I don't know. It's all very much up in the air. We could be closed within a week if things don't, go our way.
Another very popular Helena restaurant, No Sweat Cafe in downtown Helena, has had similar issues finding customers. Pre-pandemic, the small cafe would be overflowing with customers with an hour-long wait that many would happily put up with.
Weekends are busiest, but it's comparable to like a busy Tuesday in the summer now.
Both No Sweat and Bad Betty's took advantage of COVID relief grants from CARES Act funding. In total, the state has paid out $187 million through their Business Stabilization Grant Program to 13,000 businesses across Montana. However, those funds are only temporary relief. With COVID cases rising, many small businesses worry it will keep customers from going out, even just to pick up something. There's also the looming fear of having to close for a period if an employee contracts the virus. Looking at the outlook, many businesses say they're going to need additional support this winter.
I think with the current state of things, with the numbers spiking in Montana, I don't see this going away for a long time. There has to be some more stabilization money, or not just myself. There's a lot of businesses in this town that have already shuttered their doors, and there's going to be a lot more.
In Helena, small businesses are trying to support each other where they can. No Sweat purchases bacon from Bad Betty's to use in their shop. Fire Tower Coffee, who also serves breakfast right across the street from No Sweat, has blended coffee for them when a shipment was late. They're not competitors, but a community, trying to weather a brutal drought.
All these amazing businesses that offer so much down here, and it doesn't take you going in there every day to support the business. If you want next summer to be able to eat at Murray's or No Sweat or Fire Tower or wherever once a week, it doesn't take a whole lot to shore the local businesses up right now. It just takes a lot of people doing it.
Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
All right, now it's time for First Weather with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Well, good evening, everybody. A quiet day out there today. Hope you enjoyed the calm before the storm, because a new storm is moving in. We've got a high wind warning for the Rocky Mountain front, a high wind watch just east and southeast of there, and a winter weather advisory for the higher terrain, really west of the Continental Divide. Now, there will be some snow east of the divide, but most of the accumulation will be up in the mountains, and that means pass problems if you are driving over the mountain passes over the next couple of days. A bit of a breeze, you could say, here for this weekend. Downright windy weather will be headed our way, and warmer weather, melting some of that snow. We'll have more on the full forecast a little later on here in the show.
The Little Shell Tribal Council is gearing up for a new term after a record number of votes were cast in the Tribal Council election last weekend. MTN's Zach Shermley spoke with tribal leaders about how the pandemic is affecting a crucial period in the tribe's history.
Ballot number 19.
A record number of votes cast.
That was really inspiring to see that turnout.
In the Little Shell Tribal Council election.
What that told me was that, membership is engaged and they want to be a part of the process, especially as a newly federally recognized tribe.
The election.
Chairman Gerald Gray, First Vice Chair Clarence Sievertson.
Coming on the heels of an historic time for the tribe.
Since our recognition, we've been inundated with enrollment applications.
After just receiving federal recognition almost a year ago. Then came the pandemic.
It's an unprecedented time for everybody, I know that, but particularly for the Little Shell tribe, right? Just being granted federal recognition, and then all of a sudden a pandemic happens.
We got the virus, and it hit us hard. It hit both of us hard.
Oh, wow.
And I would like, and I do know a couple other Little Shell members that are relatives that it hit hard and are hospitalized and are basically fighting for their lives right now.
COVID-19 is affecting Native Americans at disproportionate rates.
To be honest with you, it's scary.
While federal money is rolling in a lot slower than they expected.
To date, we have still not received any of those new tribal funds. We just keep pushing forward. That's all we can do.
Tribal leaders say the fight is not over. In Great Falls, I'm Zach Shermley, MTN News.
Governor Bullock chose a Helena attorney to serve as the newest judge for the 1st Judicial District. Today, Bullock announced he appointed Chris Abbott to replace Judge James Reynolds, who retired last month. Abbott is currently an assistant attorney general with the Montana Department of Justice. He previously spent 10 years as a public defender. The State Judicial Nomination Commission chose Abbott as one of 3 finalists to fill Reynolds' seat. He will now have to be confirmed by the Montana Senate during next year's legislative session. If approved, he'll serve through the end of 2022. The 1st District includes Lewis and Clark and Broadwater counties. And still ahead on the news at 6, we'll take you to the grand opening of a new treatment center in the Helena area.
News leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. Thanks for joining us this evening. Well, today, Hope Center Ministries celebrated the grand opening of their new facility in Clancy. They have facilities all over the world, but this one is their largest facility yet. MTN's Alexia Guayo has the story.
Hope Center Ministries allowed certain individuals to tour their 13.5-acre land as part of a grand ceremony. Hope Ministries has 23 locations all over the world to help those struggling with drug and alcohol addiction. The new women's campus in Clancy, Montana is their largest location. Thursday, Hope Ministries celebrated the grand opening, but the director says this moment also celebrates a new grant.
We were awarded a grant by the Gianforte Family Foundation, and so we were able to install an interior automatic fire suppression system, which now allows us to increase capacity up to 34 residents.
The 10-bathroom, 4-kitchen facility already has 14 women in recovery since April of this year. This new grant means Hope Ministries is currently accepting applications. Women share their testimony of their journey to recovery.
I was very deep into my addiction and my family was torn apart as well as my own life, and I decided to make a change for my life, and I came to Hope Center and it truly saved my life, and today I stand here living proof that Hope Center does work.
On May 5th, 2020, I drove myself to the Hope Center in Holiday, Texas. A few days later, I was in a van to Montana to help start the center. As of today, I have 6 months of sobriety and I will graduate.
In addition to the women's campus here in Clancy, Montana, Hope Center Ministries will open a men's campus in Butte, Montana next year. In Clancy, I'm Alexi Guayo, MTN News.
Alexi has more testimonies and video from this story online at our website, ktvh.com. All right, and with the best jacket I've ever seen on TV and what's coming up in weather, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenes.
It is Thursday here, Marion. Dress up Thursday. Hey, we've got the pendulum swinging in the other direction here, a warmer direction, 20 degrees warmer, almost in Great Falls right now than what it was 24 hours ago. I'll let you know if this trend will continue coming up in the forecast next.
Weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenes.
Welcome back, everybody. Good evening to you all. Looking at a pretty nice day out there where temperatures were a bit warmer. We had some nice sunshine. Yes, it is windy. We've got some gusts up to about 31 miles per hour in the Electric City, 31 degrees as well. Helena, 26 degrees right now. A little light wind at about 7 miles per hour. Teens and 20s. Boy, this morning was cold, especially out the High Line here from Havre out through Glasgow, below zero. It seemed like Harlem was the coldest location at 11 below zero this morning. The wind, the usual suspects, Livingston, Great Falls, Cup Bank, Havre, wind picking up in Lewistown. Fairly light, closer to the Continental Divide and west of the Divide. Not much going on. There's our storm, the next storm that is moving into the Pacific Northwest, and that will ultimately provide Montana with some wind and some snow. And we've got rain and some flooding going on with what's left of what was Hurricane Ada moving up the East Coast. So here in Montana, though, partly cloudy skies tonight. Nice starry night out there, and for tomorrow, snow increasing for really areas west of the Divide through the afternoon and into the evening. Now, there may be some snow showers that do come down into the Helena area at times tomorrow afternoon and evening. The little belts, the big belts will be picking up some snow down south of Bozeman. The Gallatin Range, Madison Range picking up some snow there as well, but it's really going to stay west of the Divide through tomorrow evening. Again, some snow down the Continental Divide, and if you have to travel up over Rogers Pass, Flesher Pass, McDonald Pass, likely you will run into snow and wind, so you might have to leave yourself a little extra time. Still some snow, mainly west of the Divide, heading through Friday night into Saturday, and then Saturday there will be a little period of snow out the High Line here. Again, Havre out through Glasgow, the Bear Paws, the Little Rockies could pick up a few inches of some snow, but what everybody will share or have in common here on Saturday, very strong wind out of the west between 20 and 40 miles per hour, real windy day. Snow accumulating by tomorrow afternoon, west of the Divide, mainly in the higher terrain, and then we could have again a little snow coming throughout the High Line here by Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Mountain passes, if you're traveling here this weekend or tomorrow into Saturday, there are some of the passes and the accumulations that you would expect. Marias getting hit pretty hard, maybe up to a foot of snow there. Tonight, wind increasing off of the Rocky Mountain front out across north central Montana. Blowing snow could be still an issue here. Some chilly stuff northeast Montana down into the teens, 20s in central Montana, teens and 20s around Helena. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. For Friday, there's that snow, mainly west of the Divide. There will be a couple of snow showers late in the afternoon, more so the evening, maybe coming down into the Helena Valley area. the hills around town, better chance of seeing some of that snow. Very windy conditions across the plains. And look at these high temperatures, a little warmer, almost average for a change, up into the 40s. Saturday, low pressure working across northern Montana, and that again could produce a little accumulating snow. Havre through Zortman, Malta, Saco, Hinsdale, out through the Glasgow area. An inch or two, maybe 3 inches of snow, and some snow showers again in the western mountains. Into Sunday, a little sun to start, increasing clouds through the day, highs in the 30s and the 40s, another windy one, maybe a couple of afternoon snow showers around Helen and Great Falls. This storm is not like the last couple of weekend storms where we had really snow accumulating to significant amounts east of the divide. You really have to head up into the higher terrain. Now, on Monday, anybody traveling might encounter a little mix of some snow, maybe some ice across north central Montana, but as warmer air moves in, snow levels will rise and some of that snow will mix over to some light rain. Here's the 7-day forecast for Helena. So in the 40s over the next several days with a lot of wind until we pop into the 60s on Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't really foresee any major issues with the weather. Yeah, the wind will be a problem here on Saturday, just kind of an annoyance. But as far as big accumulations or anything really impacting travel east of the Continental Divide in the lower elevations, I do not see that.
All right, thank you, Curtis. Coming up, one Helena High senior is heading to Colorado to play a sport that is not widely played here in Montana.
News Leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. The early signing period for letters of intent to NCAA athletics programs started yesterday, and one Helena High student athlete is headed to Adams State in Colorado to play a sport that is not that prevalent here in Montana. MTN's Sam Hoyle has the story.
In the fall, you can find Dexter Tedesco on the football field, in the winter on the basketball court, and in the spring and summer he combines the two in a sense and plays lacrosse. On Wednesday, Tedesco signed his national letter of intent to play lacrosse for Adams State in Alamosa, Colorado, after playing for club organizations. And after he got his call from his now coach that he would get to play for Adams State, Tedesco said he was speechless.
I didn't really speak for about 5 minutes. My dad was just like, congrats. And then I was just sitting there really in disbelief. Just didn't really expect it to happen so fast.
Tedesco said he got his late start in elementary school alongside his teammate and friend Rafe Miller, and lacrosse quickly became his favorite sport to play.
We decided to try it out. We both loved it, started playing, and ever since then it just really started growing for me. I worked on it pretty much every day, and I started to like it more than basketball and football, and I just kept getting better at it, and so it started to become like a second nature to me.
Despite lacrosse not being a Montana High School Association sponsored sport, there is a Montana High School Lacrosse Association and various clubs outside the scope of school athletics. And one of Tedesco's coaches in the Treasure State Lacrosse League, Kevin Flynn, said though he's gotten over the first hurdle of getting scouted, Tedesco will have to work even harder at the next level.
He's going to have to put in time. It'll definitely be a step up for him, and he's probably looking at a scenario where he's coming in on the bench and having to earn minutes and that kind of deal. And as long as he can keep working and stuff, he'll find time and he'll be able to contribute when he gets on the field.
Reporting in Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN Sports.
All right, and we'll wrap things up here on the News at 6 when we come back.
Montana's News Leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back. If you are looking for a gift to commemorate 2020, look no further. A guy in LA started selling these dumpster fire toys and Christmas tree ornaments on Etsy to commemorate the dumpster fire that is 2020. When life hands you lemons, make lemonade, but he decided when life hands you trash, make a product out of it and sell it on the internet. Every piece comes with a little note wishing that the toy will bring the buyer happiness, hope, and laughter, and Etsy users say it sure has.
All right, here's the 7-day forecast, and for Great Falls, a little warmer tomorrow, getting up into the 40s. 40s the next few days, and a couple of flakes, a couple of raindrops potentially late tomorrow. Maybe a few snow showers Saturday and Sunday. Monday, a little mix of some rain and snow. Hey, we got to get through that to get into the 60s Tuesday and Wednesday. And for Helena, about 40 degrees tomorrow, a couple of afternoon and evening snow showers as on Saturday as well. And there are the 60s Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, that does it for the News at 6. Thanks so much for watching.